How y'all doing? I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, this one is called How I Downsized. Yes, yes. Man, you never know how much stuff you have in your house until you start planning on downsizing. I downsized extremely. It was extreme with me, because I had so much I had to get rid of. You know, like the first time I came to the Philippines, when I was talking to my now wife, and it was crazy because I started thinking about downsizing, you know, because I know I was going to be overseas a lot, so then when we got married, that was it. Then in 2002, we got married, and then then I knew it was going to be a long time before I can get her to the States, with you know politically, it was a lot of paperwork to do to get her here, but it's easier for me to come down here, you know. So I started downsizing. My house, I had like 3 bedrooms in there. So it was crazy. I had an attic and everything like that. So I had to get my beds, and I had two big beds and stuff in there. Well, what yeah, 2 beds. 2 beds. Two full size beds, And I had fish tanks and everything in there. My whole life was in that place. So I went up into the attic and started taking stuff from the attic first. So I got a goo gobs of stuff out the attic. Man, it was crazy. I got a lot of stuff out the attic. And it was like a house full up in the attic. For me putting stuff up there, putting stuff up in the attic and stuff like that as the years went on, because I was in there for since 2000, I think 2016, 2017 when I got in that place, and it was building up from then. So when I took I got that stuff at the attic downstairs, which I had to find some place to put it in. So I had a bedroom up front where I used to do my videos and stuff. Cause I keep in mind I just started doing the YouTube stuff, then. So I had 1 bedroom up front where I would do my videos at, so I put everything in that room, and then I started just taking stuff. So I fooled around and took a lot of stuff to storage, okay, to my storage container, so man, I had a filled to the top. I'm talking about filled all the way to the top. Yep. So after that, I was still in the house then, so I kept my bed in there and stuff like that, but I had cleaned all the rooms out. Then I had to take my couches and everything to the storage, and it was packed in there, man. You couldn't even see the floor, So after that, man, then I moved over to my friend's house. I moved into his trailer. So when I was staying in the trailer, I would go back and forth to the storage, you know, the storage thing, and just get some stuff out if I need it and stuff like that. So man, it was crazy. So I had it in my mind not to accumulate any more stuff, not to accumulate any more stuff. So when I was in that small confined space, I was staying over in a small confined place. I couldn't go out and buy stuff, just go out and buy stuff willy-nilly, buying stuff. So it was kind of cool, but after that, man, whoa, sound like it's about to thunderstorm. We get rains and stuff every day here, cause this is the rainy season, And I heard in Memphis, Tennessee, that they had a downpouring there, but their downpouring there is nothing like here, So anyway, man, look, with me not getting any more stuff, now I can manage, but I still had stuff in storage, which I was paying like $100 and something for storage, So I was thinking, I said, look, I got to get this storage cleaned out, So I start selling stuff, Sold my washing machine, got my bedroom sets, sold all of them, all those mattresses and stuff, and the couch and everything, sold all of that. Then I still had, it was piled up in there, man. After I sold all of that stuff, then I moved to a smaller container where I wouldn't have to pay that much. But then, let me see, I was paying like $50 something for the storage thing then. But the $50 something soon rose up to like almost $100 again. So I really had to get rid of that storage container, because I don't know if you ever had furniture or something in a storage container and left it in there a long time. They start bringing the price up on the storage container. So it was crazy. So I started going to the storage thing every day, to take stuff out of there. And it was a tedious job, man. It was tedious, So I kept going to the storage and getting rid of some more stuff. And I had a lot of paperwork in there. A lot of paperwork. So much paperwork, So after that, then I start thinking, okay, look, I had on my bucket list to resign from my job and to get rid of my car, and to get rid of my car and then prepare to go, to get my tickets to go. So I went online and searched for some cheap tickets, but I found some tickets for $700 and something. So that was cheaper than $2,000, because my tickets usually cost me $2,000, to come out here, But so I said, well, I got to execute everything. So then I put my resignation in, and my 2 weeks resignation. So I put that in, and then after I put that in, I had 2 weeks to go, because I was going to leave on the 10th of August, So I had 2 weeks to go. So everything had to speed up then. So I went to the storage container and I got everything out of there. I got everything out. And my stuff had been in the storage like that for like since 2000 uh, uh 2020. Yeah, so I had my stuff in storage for since 2020. So man, it was a blessing to get that storage taken care of, get it vacated out. And they still tried to charge me money for it. So I just said, forget y'all, man. Forget y'all. Still tried to charge me, money for it. But once I got that storage container clean, then it was easier then. It was easier. Some people leave their stuff in storage longer than that, But then I had resigned from a job already. So I still had to go to work. So I was driving back and forth to work. And then on I think it was on the 1st of August. Yeah, it was the 1st of August. I officially resigned from my job. So on the 1st of August, man, it was like a sad day, for me, to leave my job, So, but it's a part of life, man. It's a part of life. They'll replace me quick, just like that, So I never thought I couldn't be replaced, but they'll get somebody else in there and they'll work their way up through the ranks until they get to, do everything that I was doing, So after that, my last day, it was a sad day. That last day was kind of sad because I was trying to get my personal days out the way. So I was trying to get paid for my personal days, So I was trying to take them little by little, But that last day, that was it. Then, after that last day, I said, man. So I got all that out the way. Then now I can kind of focus on getting rid of my car. And little mama, my car and little mama, that car was been with me since 2018, So it was very sad for me because that car would take me anywhere I wanted to go, I didn't have to worry about nothing, That car would get me to work and back, working back, working back, working back, working back. So after that, I was thinking about selling my car. Finally, when I called the guy to come get the car, he came and got it, and he paid me, and there goes little mama, So I sacrificed a lot to be here, and with my wife and my son, because that was the main thing I was focusing on is getting being with my wife and my son, if the circumstances were different, it'll be a different story. If they was up in the States up there, it'd be a different story. But seeing that they was 8,000 miles away, I had to get out here to be with them, to raise my son, I had to. Yeah. So, well, I'm glad it's all over with, I'm glad it's all over with. Now I can focus on my family and getting a little rest. Getting a little rest. You know, I don't know if y'all saw my videos that I done up there in the States. I was always with a tie and stuff on. I had to go to work. I would go to work, I'd come home, and then sit down and try to do a video, you know. Try to think of something while I'm at work that I was going to do the video about, you know. So, yeah, it was tedious, man. It was real tedious. So, but that's the way I am. Like, if I can't be with my family, I'm going to absorb myself in work, you know. I will work many hours. Like, I was working many hours before I resigned, you know. Many hours, you know. So, after that, man, so I've got back here now. Now I got a few things that I have to do here, you know, to get myself situated out here too, you know. So, but that's a far cry from what I was going through in Memphis, Tennessee, you know. So, yep. So next year in like around June, then I'll be officially retired. But I can go back to work. But I'm not really anticipating on going back to work, you know. Because I have to go back to the States to work, you know. So, yeah, I'm not anticipating going back to work, you know. So in June, I will be retired officially. Yeah. So, well, that's about it. That's about it, you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share. Share my videos with your family. Share my videos with your friends. Share my videos with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. Okay, you guys. Peace. Adios. Salamat. Come here. Salamat. All right. All right, you guys.